dealing with, they are actually specialists in diabetic control, which is the endocrinologist. So back then, I was very, very aware about diabetes as well, because I see all the diabetic patients, they are either now controlled on many drugs, not only one, because once the the blood sugar is down, before that, yeah. So once the blood sugar is out of control, right? Doctors, what they will do, they only just add on another drugs, then add on another drug. So there are actually three lines of drugs. So first line, if not control, second line. If not control, then third line. So the one that I was selling was the third line. So imagine that if you are not controlling your blood sugars and you're managing your diabetes, you are only resorted to adding more drugs and drugs and drugs, and end up, if you get complications, most of the doctor, they'll refer to others like maybe dialysis, like retinopathy. So the complications of diabetes can be very, very serious. Yeah, and I saw a lot of patients that suffer with managing diabetes. So yeah, but after that, I also work as a nutritional regulatory advisor. But all this because I was still single lah. Then, but this actually the career actually require a lot of traveling. So at the end, I quitted this job and then resorted to be a housewife and managing other businesses. And now, as next slide, Nani. Now, actually, I'm a wellness coach, yeah, and also a Pilates instructor since 2020 when I come across PWL, yeah, and I actually this I was really, really grateful to be able to have met PWL, these platforms, yeah, because it actually fulfilled my patience being a nutritionist, because back then I was working as a pharma rep, we're dealing with a lot of drugs, but actually as a nutritionist, we are actually talking more about preventions, so getting you into diseases. So as a wellness coach, I get to pursue my purpose being a nutritionist to actually spread a lot of awareness about preventions. Yeah, and also after that, I came across Pilates and then become a Pilates instructor, because if you want to be healthy, you want to prevent diseases, nutrition and exercise actually comes hand in hand. Yeah, one cannot be without each other. Yeah, so with this career, I actually had the opportunity to actually spread awareness. You can see that as a top left, I was invited in one of the Tatikas to speak about healthy eating and also weight management, and also I gained some opportunities to do some wellness coach and wellness event. Yeah, so it was really fulfilling lah. Yeah, so now back to our diabetes topics, right? So I get some interactions with you all. Yeah, just type chat there. Okay, so about diabetes, just now Leonie was asking, so none of you are actually having diabetes here, I suppose. Yeah, I am sure. Yeah, and also, but if you're aware of any of your family members, friends, or even friends of friends that actually have diabetes, if you come across this kind of friends or family members, can you just type 222 for me? Yeah, interact with me so you can actually have some opportunity to ask questions also. Yeah, many, right? Yeah, so I think, the prevalence of diabetes in the whole world is like 1 out of 3 would have a prevalence to get diabetes. So it is very, very common around us. Yeah. So, but how do we get to diabetes? So next slide, Leonie. Leonie, next slide. So before we get to know about how to get to diabetes, we talk about what causes diabetes. It's actually blood glucose. So what happens usually to blood glucose when you eat? So usually after we eat, right, this is the process of getting what our body react to the food. So when you have a full meal, like after dinner, what happens to your body when the food ingested? So when the food ingested into our body, right, it will be broken down into glucose. So this glucose, it will actually enter the blood. The whole body got bloodstream, so it will enter the blood, and then it will be transported to different part of cells. Yeah, so this is how it works. And when your body sense that, oh, the man sense that, oh, we have glucose in our blood, then it will actually trigger the pancreas to actually, release insulin into the blood as well. So as you can see from here, right, this one is the glucose and this one is insulin. So long there's a glucose entering the spike, then you will have insulin inside. So this insulin is what? It's actually a key that actually open up the cells of those they travel to so that they will take up the glucose from the blood into the cells. So why do you want to take into the cells? Because they want to be converted into energy. So actually, this energy, glucose, when we come into cells, right, it will, how it provides energy, it will be stored as a glycogen. So as you can see here, there are two parts that actually store glycogens. One is liver, and then one is muscle cells. So the liver cells, they use glycogens to maintain our blood sugars and also maintain our organs and brain functions, because we are not eating every minute. So when between meal, you have some gaps that where you don't have food in. So this is where the liver glycogens take part to maintain our blood glucose. And then muscle cells, they store at glycogens when you exercise, when you move like this, like we are moving, right? We're actually using glucose to make movement. This is how glycogens is used, to provide energies. But when the glycogen store, there's a storage. When the glycogen storage is full, how is the excess glucose going to? They are going into fat. Yeah, so fat is the long-term storage. So imagine today you are eating a full meal, a lot of carbohydrates, a lot of fats, and a lot of proteins. If your body don't need that much, it will be stored as a fat, and then it will not be used immediately, and that will lead to weight gain and fatty livers. So this is how it works when you have foods inside your body. Okay, so next slide. So the blood glucose is the key to diabetes. So as we have no diabetes, like normal persons like us, we have 44% here. As we know diabetes, our insulin works perfectly to transport glucose from blood into the cells. So it's working well. But for diabetes patients, say type 1, we have two types of diabetes. One is type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. So the insulin in the body is not working it's not functioning well already. So for type 1 diabetes, right, there's no insulin produced in the body already. So that actually leads to high blood glucose. Yeah, so we can see buildup of glucose in the blood. For type 2 diabetes, it still have insulin, but the insulin is either not enough, or actually the body cannot sense there's insulin. Yeah, so when they cannot sense there's insulin, it cannot use the insulin to bring the glucose into our body, into the cells. So what actually happens is actually also resulting in high blood glucose. So diabetes is actually a condition where your blood has a lot of sugars that's too high that, it's already abnormal already. So, and that will lead to diabetes. Yeah, okay, so actually, there are also different types of diabetes. So just now we talked about type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. So these are some of the figures that maybe you can be aware of. So there are also pre-diabetes and also gestational diabetes. So type 1 diabetes is autoimmune disease, means your body immunity actually attack the insulin secreting cells. So that's why it doesn't secrete insulin anymore. And that one is non-reversible. It's genetic. It cannot be reversed anymore. You cannot go and adjust it so that your body produce insulin. And that's why this is non-reversible and you are not able to reverse it. Yeah, you only rely on insulin injections, to survive only. But type 2 diabetes is actually because of the lifestyle factors. Yeah, so it's actually because of our eating, our exercising, or it could be others diet and other comorbidity that actually causing type 2 diabetes. And bear in mind that once you develop into type 2 diabetes, there's no cure. Yeah, it's not reversible, but it's manageable. So meaning once you already got into type 2 diabetes, there's no way for you to reverse back. Yeah, but for pre-diabetes, what is pre-diabetes is the moment before you go into type 2 diabetes. So there's a range between 5.7 to 6.4, meaning A1C more than 6.5, you are actually diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. This is between the normal and the type 2 diabetes. There's this range windows that you actually, for you to work on it to reverse into back to the normal, normal persons. So this is actually the windows that we are targeting. And many of us not knowing that we actually probably have people who have pre-diabetes, but they are not detectable because they even didn't go and test their blood glucose. They even then go and do blood tests. So they're actually pre-diabetes, but they don't know about it. So once they are not controlled, they will just develop the type 2 diabetes and it's not reversible. So there's a prevalence of a lot of diabetes, pre-diabetes, hidden pre-diabetes patients and also people around us. And then gestational diabetes is actually when your hormonal change during pregnancy and that causes gestational diabetes. And usually this is this will resolve after you deliver baby. But once you have gestational diabetes, you have this history, you have to be aware that next you have increased risk of getting type 2 diabetes. So for this type, we are talking about before that, but the previous slide, please. Okay, so we are talking about today we are focusing on type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes because this is what they actually we want to prevent or we want to reverse it. So basically these two type 2 diabetes and pre-diabetes is because of insulin resistance. So what is insulin resistance? Is next slide. Next slide. Okay, so insulin resistance is actually your body resists to insulins. So once for people who are having a lot of carbohydrates diets, if you every meal also have rice, have noodles, have no a lot of the bread, then you're probably having a high consumption of carbs. Then your blood sugars is always elevated, always high. So your pancreas also always working on to secrete more insulins to actually uptake the glucose. But there's a point that your cells will resist insulins. So once your cells resist insulins, it actually doesn't sense that there's a glucose, and then the glucose is still up in the blood. So what to do is actually because your body, your mind, your body actually sense that the glucose is still high, but I already secrete a lot of insulin. Why is still high? Then what you actually counteract, it will actually reduce. It will actually secrete more insulin. So that's how it works. Keep secreting more, keep producing more insulin, and then your body will become inflamed. So that's where insulin resistance causes. So what causes is actually when you have too much of the fats in your body. Excess body fat, that is the primary cause So if you have fatty bellies, you have visceral fat, your visceral fat is high when you measure during your parameters. So these are the primary cause during insulin resistance. But insulin resistance itself, you don't know, actually is no symptoms. So a lot of people, they don't know they're having insulin resistance, yet the body is already resisting insulins. And also people nowadays, we are sitting and then we have sedentary lifestyle, except pickleball. Now pickleball already many people playing so maybe physical more active, but a lot of people, they are working people, they are physical inactivity also will actually reduce the sensitivities of body ability to use the insulin as well. So also high carbohydrates diets also will lead to insulin resistance. And also another things that people always forgot, but it's actually very important, is the sleep issues. If we have poor sleep quality or if we have sleep apnea, that will actually also link to your body getting insulin resistance as well. Okay, next slide. So these are the signs that you have you might have insulin resistance, but actually not really confirmed, but then not must have, but then there's a signs that you can look up to, which is like skin tags. If you have a lot of skin tags over here, small one, sometimes it will have one or two, but gradually if your insulin resistance is getting more, then your skin tag might develop more as well. So these are the one of the symptoms. Or darkened skin patches like here, and around the neck, or here, or even at the back of your neck are all these like darkening patches. Like, how come my neck or maybe is actually more darker than my face, or maybe my hand, so this is could be the sign of the insulin resistance as well. And also when you try to lose weight but you still can't lose weight, yeah, this is also one of the insulin resistance sign. And fatigue. Fatigue is usually after you eat and then you still feel fatigue because it's not supplying energy. So once after every time after you eat the meal, but you still feel very tired, no energy to do anything, then this is could be the sign of insulin resistance as well. Yeah, and also then you keep craving for sweets. I want to eat bubble tea. I want to drink bubble tea. I want to eat cakes and all that. Keep having the cravings. Then it could be also one of the signs as well. But if you can reverse insulin resistance, yes, just like prediabetes, you can actually reverse insulin resistance. So how to reverse the insulin resistance? So next slide. Yeah, there's true lifestyles. Basically, three types of three aspects that you can look into. One is of course eating, true eating, because eating is the one that actually affect the blood glucose more. So you can have nutritious meals. This I will talk more about it later. And also you must have exercise. Exercise will increase the sensitivity of the insulin production, so you can have stable blood glucose. Yeah, so if you are inactive, maybe you don't really do any exercise at all, yeah, so there's higher probability of you getting insulin resistant. So if you want to have reverse this, then you must add on exercise. This is a must lah. And also because our lifestyle, that we might not get enough options of getting diets, or even or all the food choices that available in around you, then we can opt for supplementary support as well. Means having some supplements, yeah, that actually could actually helps to speed up the diabetes reversible, and also yeah, reverse the insulin resistance as well. Yeah. So, but of all of these three, right, nutritionals is, I mean, is 70% of the take up 70% of the whole pictures, because you are what you eat. Yeah, the blood glucose is actually reflections of what you put into your mouth lah. Yeah. So how do we actually targeting the good nutrition? Next slide, Melanie. So our foods, so we look at this, right? It's actually your food, it has a three macronutrients. One is carbohydrates, we all know, protein, we all know, and fat as well. So these three are the nutrients in your food that provide you energy. So when whatever food you put in, it will divide it into three. So these are the chart that actually you look into it. Carbohydrate is no noodles, rice, white breads, and all that. And protein is meats, yeah, and also plant foods like maybe it's tofu, yeah, and also fat is like oil, like peanut butters and all the oils, and also cheese, they are fats. So as you can see from here, right, the glucose response towards all these macronutrients. Carbs is actually the one that directly have high impact, because the carbs is the one that actually has more glucose. The most 90% of it is actually glucose. So once you ingest, you eat food, you eat carbs, right? Like rice, it will directly 90% of it turns into glucose. So if you have more carbs, then 90% of it will actually turn into blood glucose. So it will spike the fastest once you get into it. Yeah. So it will actually turn from 15 minutes to 2 hours, depending what carbs are you taking into your mouth lah. Yeah, so the second one would be protein. Protein is has a moderate impact, because protein actually doesn't really directly convert into glucose. Yeah, so it has a moderate impact of blood sugar spike. Yeah, so around 50% of it actually turns into glucose only. So when you have just protein, maybe you just have one meat, yeah, your glucose spike won't be as fast, because it doesn't turn into glucose immediately. Yeah, but once you have low blood glucose, right, then your protein will be broken down into glucagon to lift up your blood glucose as well. So the peak time is about 2 to 4 hours. So actually, you can see if we have protein, yeah, you can have fuller time. You can feel fuller in 2 hours even in 4 hours, because it only slowly digested. Yeah. And then the least one is fat. Yeah. So actually very, very low impact on blood glucose. Yeah. So you see that, oh, then I have a lot of not cheese lah, and also maybe just focus on high fat diet lah. Yeah. So because 10% of it turn into glucose, it actually doesn't really turn into any of the blood glucose. But yeah, high fat diet will actually increase insulin resistance, which is the one that I was talking about, the conditions. Yeah, so yeah, you cannot really just have only high fat diet, because that will actually cause insulin resistance as well, and they should also impact your body in uptake of glucose. So you can see spike in blood glucose, it also cause spike in insulins. So this insulin, if you have more, is also a fat storage hormone, meaning if you have more blood glucose, it will turn into fat as well. So our aim is actually to not have a big high spike of blood glucose. Yeah. Okay. So how do we choose? So next slide, Leonie. So talking about carbohydrates, right? It's only you can use glycemic index, GI. Maybe a lot of people of you actually heard about glycemic index, GI. Yeah, so only applies to carbohydrate containing foods. So we have high GI food and we have low GI foods. So it is actually a number that determining how quick the foods with carbohydrate raise the blood glucose once you actually ingested the food. Yeah, so of course we do not want to have high GI. Yeah, high GIs is highly refined foods like chips, biscuits, cakes, all this we know already, ice cream. Yeah, but even potato processed food, they are also high GI, and also some of the high sugars fruits like watermelon. Yeah, all this, when you ingested within 15 minutes, your blood glucose already spike up. Yeah, though this is not favorable to diabetes or pre-diabetes patients, or even insulin resistance peoples. So if you have this prevalence of diabetes and you want to manage or pre-diabetes, or you want to reverse the insulin resistance, we have to choose low GI foods. So how to choose? Okay, here I have actually listed out. So fiber content, if your food has a high fiber content, that actually digests slower, that means it's low GI. Yeah, so solid food like fruits, right, fruits compared to fruit juice. So we have the whole food. Yeah, it's actually higher fiber content. Not juice.
That is the Coke.
Yeah, so once you eat the orange compared to orange juice, orange actually spike up lower than the oranges. Yeah, so and also if your diet have fat, your meals have fat contents, because fat actually it actually lower the spike, right? Or lower the blood glucose. So if you high amount of fat, it will also makes your body digest slower. Yeah, and also temperature also make a difference in terms of the blood glucose. So if cold food actually digests slower than hot foods. So if you have salad or stir vegetables, salad actually more high fiber content, and it's actually digested slower. So if you have the options to have salads, yeah, and also grilled vegetables, or also stir fried vegetables, actually salad is actually have higher nutritional contents than the stir fried vegetables lah. Yeah, you depending of the salad whether have your dressing or not lah. If the dressing is very high fat contents, then it's not as nutritious as the plain one. Okay. Yeah, also another one is undercooked or underripe foods also digest slower than overcooked food, just like salads and the stir fried vegetables or salmon. The raw salmon is actually have higher digest slower than the cooked salmon. Yeah, so that's how we differentiate how do you want to actually choose the foods to eat. Yeah, and also another one is very important is processed food. Yeah, so the food is very processed like white bread. Yeah, it's actually digest faster than wholemeal bread, because wholemeal bread actually has higher fiber content. So you can take a screenshot of this. So next time when you know, oh, which one I want to, because I want to reverse my diabetes, you can actually get these guidelines to choose your foods. Yeah, so we aim to have lower GI food as foods as possible. But if you happen to have high GI foods, like you have white rice, then what do you want to do? I only have white rice. This meal I don't have any other options already. So how do? You add on proteins or vegetables with your white rice, and that will actually slower the spike of your glucose uptake in the body. Yeah, means less craving, and then also means your body functions better. Okay, all right. If next slide, Leonie. Okay, so this is the plating that we can use to actually for normal plating for us for healthy eating, but also for diabetes patients, we also use this plating to reverse diabetes, like pre-diabetes patients. My mom, later I will show you the case of my mom. Yeah, she was diagnosed pre-diabetes earlier of this year. Yeah, so I use this plating to actually convert her from pre-diabetes to normal. Yeah, so this is not only applies to diabetes, also applies to insulin resistance. Of if you have craving for foods, then you can use this to actually reverse your diet. So this 2-1-1 plating is actually you always have a plate. Yeah. So imagine whatever plate your imaginable plate also. Every time you eat a meal, you focus on two servings of non-starchy vegetables, means half of your plate are actually vegetables. So 1/4 are proteins, and then the other quarters are only carbohydrates. Because usually in a normal persons, usually half are carbohydrates, right? Am I right? If half of plates are actually carbohydrate, you type 111 for me. See if you are still listening. Anyone's or you are actually very quiet, then your cups is a little bit only, then you type 333 lah. 111 or 333? One is like you have half of the plate are carbohydrates. Three is like 1/4 of the carbohydrates in your plate only. Be honest, anyone? Three. Oh, wow, not bad. Yeah, three. Okay. Avery, Jen, Mayuan, Elaine, Kemi. Oh, Charmaine. Oh, nobody 111 on 5-day plan. Oh, okay, no wonder. All right, yeah. So very well, yeah. A lot of you are aware of this plating, but still there are a lot of like aunties or maybe a lot of peoples around us that they don't know about the plating. They are just also in outside markets, right? Like when you go eat outside, yeah, half of it or even like maybe more than half of it is actually carbohydrates, and then a little bit of veggie, and then a little bit of the proteins on it. That's actually not the right type of healthy eatings lah. So we always aim to have non-starchy vegetables half plate, carbohydrate half plate. Yeah. So actually, if you are just trying out, you don't have to cut out all the carbs to reduce diabetes or to actually reverse your diabetes, because just by reducing the carbohydrate portion size, you already notice the difference already. Yeah. So from half cut to 1/4, that's good enough. Yeah, true. Yeah, avoids carbs, right? Yeah. So at night I don't eat lah, but I still gain weight. How? That's not a right one also. So 1/4 of the carbohydrate is the best choice lah. And because we need carbs to functions also, as I said, right? It help us to maintain our brain functions, our organ functions. So if without carbs, your brain you feel brain fog and all that. Yeah. So yeah, still need to eat. Yeah. So also you swipe out carbohydrates to high fiber carbs. Like you want to eat potato chips. Some of people they actually use potato chips as their main meals, which is not right. Yeah. So you don't take white rice, white bread. Yeah. When you go outside, you don't take the white bread. Yeah. You switch to wholemeal bread. Yeah. So later I will teach more about how you can select food choices when you eat out. Okay. Then after that also you can add on proteins and vegetables to each meal. This is actually very important, so you maintain the spike of your glucose. Yeah, so many people they just have the carbohydrates, noodles, lok just for the lunch, but you don't have protein, you don't have vegetables. That's actually will spike up your glucose and will increase your prevalence to diabetes. And also very important is the eating sequence. Yeah, so that you maintain your blood glucose level. Yeah, so normally I would say you drink water first if you want to lose weight. Then you eat your meat because meat doesn't spike up the blood glucose. Then you take your veggie because veggie is high fiber. Then only after that you take your carbs, because by the time you are maybe already half full because already have maybe 3/4 of it already, right? Yeah, and then only you take carbs, then your body, your stomach is already have something to digest there. So when the carbs goes in, right, it won't spike up the glucose. Yeah, and the least would be fruits. So fruits is why is the last one, because one is actually high sugary, and also it has high GI. Yeah, so usually carbs, if you want to talk about carbs, right, good carbs is better than fruits. Yeah, so we don't need to take many fruits. Yeah, so because sometimes the sugars content will be too high for blood glucose also. And also choose whole foods than the others refined foods, like maybe sweet potatoes here. Yeah, compared to rice, sweet potato is much better. So anything that is actually original from its shapes is the one that you want to eat. Not like very ice cream, you don't know what is this made from and all that. Yeah. So if you want to reverse diabetes, these are the options that you can cut up, especially carbs. So pay attention into the carbs more than the proteins or the vegetables. Okay. Yep. Next slide. So here is interesting eat out options that I actually make for you all. Yeah. So next slide, Leonie. Yeah, so this is the healthy food swap that actually I could yeah, I make for you. So a lot of times that you say I don't have time to prepare for myself to have this 2-1-1. So if I always eat out, what should I do? So here is some of the more common outside food that you always face too lah. So you can swap with a healthier choice. Why? So like fried rice, yeah, if you fried rice is just carbs itself, it's very little of vegetables. So instead of fried rice, you can take economy rice with more proteins, and you can make your own 2-1-1 plates here already. Yeah, vegetables. Yeah, because you have a lot of options to take on. Because like that, you actually not only not taking carbs, but you also taking proteins and fiber and vegetables. Then actually will stabilize your blood sugar. And also, if you go out for breakfast, so big breakfast is actually not as good because it actually has a lot of processed food. Yeah, so sausages, bacons, and then also the beans is okay lah. The egg are also okay. Yeah, no, the refined white bread. So a better options would be egg Benedict. Yeah. So the depends also the sauce lah. The sauce actually you don't take that much. Why is it Benedict? Because it's less highly processed food. You can choose salmon over all the processed food. And also, sourdough is actually better than white bread because sourdough is fermented. Yeah, so sourdough actually has lower GI than the normal bread. So whenever you have the options to choose sourdough, choose it over the other bread options. Yeah, and also of course, sugary drinks it should be avoided. Yeah, so a lot of time we can switch teh tarik to teh o peng, teh o, white coffee to black coffee. Yeah, so before I actually goes into this 5-day plan and all that, like that, the slim camp, right? I also a fans of white coffee. Yeah, I cannot go without white coffee. But after that, once I restricted myself into black coffee or even just latte, right, milk with coffee, in 1 month, actually, I already cut out the white coffee already, because it takes time for your body to adjust to the sugars. You have to really uh, have the intentions to actually swap it. Then after that, it becomes a habit. Then you will want to go back to white coffee because you feel very sweet. Yeah. So, and also fried chickens is not good, but tandoori chicken is better than fried chickens, because cooking method usually is like fried is less choice than roasted. Tandoori chicken is actually roasted, if you are not aware of roasted chickens. And also the best one is steam lah. So go for steam, then roasted, then only fried chicken. Once a while, if you want to have fried chickens, just remove the skin. Yeah, because skin is the one that high fat. Yeah. So you can also yeah, curb your craving by having fried chicken without the skin. Yeah. Okay. All right. Next slide. Next slide, Leonie. Okay. So this one is you have nasi lemak. You have the menu have nasi lemak with fried chicken, but you don't choose that. You can choose nasi kerabu. So nasi kerabu with grilled chicken is as nice, as flavorful as nasi lemak. But nasi kerabu is actually lower fat rice. You know the coconut rice in the nasi lemak is very high fat content. It's actually saturated fat. Yeah. So and also nasi kerabu, it has a lot of fresh herb. This fresh herb actually is higher fiber and also greater antioxidants. So it's actually a better choice than nasi lemak. And curry noodles over clear broth noodle, you choose clear broth noodle because um, in those thick broth soups or sauces like curry sauce, you always serum on the rice. Those they have very high sodium content. This high sodium content will increase the risk of insulin resistance because it's high fat. Yeah, and also which is will lead to diabetes as well. So this one we also like those like low for tong, or yeah, those that you brought for very long time. Those are Hong Kong's soup, right? Yeah, they say it's very nutritious, but it's actually very high fat content also. Yeah, because all the fats actually dissolve into the water. Yeah, so it best is have a little bit of soup, but just have the content of the meat of the chickens and vegetables because it already have some taste already. So try not to have the soups or sauce in your diet. Yeah. And also roti canai and thosai, choose thosai. Thosai is very nice, but it's also very good choice because it's fermented. Yeah, so fermented food is good for our body because we need the enzyme, and it's also higher in protein and higher in fiber, means it's low GI. It's one of the low GI carbohydrates. Yeah, so compared to roti canai is highly refined carbs. So once you eat it, even though even with the curry sauce, then your blood sugar surely spike one. Yeah. So and then thosai, it comes with this lentil dal. Dal is actually very good lentil, very good high fiber sauce also. So that's actually better sauce than the curry sauce. Yeah. All right. Okay. So burger, if I want to go to Burger King, I want to go to McDonald's. There's a wrap options, right? Yeah. So choose wraps than burger because wrap is actually lower refined carbs and also lower saturated fats. So it can stabilize your blood sugar more. Mm. All right. So here are the eating out foods that you can choose when you go out to eat. All right. Next slide, Leonie. Okay, so just now I was talking about supplementaries, right? Here we have these introductions to advanced Nonimex. So this is actually one of the very popular fruits that now is made into supplements because they have a lot of potential effects, potential health benefits to our body. So what is Nonimex? Nonimex is actually made from one of the supplements that can help to support your blood glucose level. Yeah, because it's actually compound from noni fruits, which is harvested from Hawaii. And yeah, and then one capsule can already provide 375 mg of full noni. Yeah, so what is noni fruits? Next slide, Johnny. So this noni max, the spotlight is on noni food. Actually, noni food is a very traditional medicinal herbs that used for centuries, for a long time already. But now they discover it because yeah, it actually has modern a lot of health benefit being discovered for this noni food. Traditionally, it's actually consumed as juice, noni juice, powder pups lah, or even tea, because they have benefits of immune support. You can actually have some laxative effect, so it actually can help with digestion. Yeah, and also they use it for joint pain last time or even general vitality. Yeah, so what is next slide, Leonie? Okay, so this noni fruit rice actually have a few health benefits. So it's actually very rich in potassiums and vitamin C, and it can support blood glucose level, like for if you have diabetes or you want pre-diabetes and you just want to control your sugar spike, then you can have it to support your glucose control. And it can also help with immunity support, sleep quality, or even stress management. Yeah. So it also has phytochemicals that actually support anti-inflammatory and antioxidants effect. Yeah. So how it support? So next slide, Yoni. So in terms of regular blood sugar levels, right, it actually helps to improve the insulin sensitivity. Yeah, because it's actually it helps the cells to respond to our insulins. So a glucose uptake will be better, and actually you will prevent glucose spike from there. And also it can protect pancreatic beta cells, because when you have your beta cell is wear out already, right, then you will lead to insulin resistance. But with these noni-max, noni fruits, we actually have these plant antioxidants called iridoids. Okay, this one is actually very, very highly antioxidants that actually can help reduce the oxidative stress. So actually can protect your pancreatic beta cells to be worn out, so it can actually produce insulins to promote the glucose metabolism. And it also can slow down carbohydrate breakdown. Means when you have it and then you have these effects in your body, when you have some high GI foods, you can actually can help to slow down the carbohydrate uptakes as well. Yeah, so that will help stabilize your post meal sugar spike. Yeah, so this is how it helps. And also it can help with immune modulations. Next slide, Leonie. Yeah. All right. So these plant nutrients in one of the noni, we actually can encourage the production of T and B cell. So these two are the immunities, the white blood cells. Cannot see the other side already, Leonie. Already zoom out. Yeah, so yeah, T cell and B cell. So you can see here, one is T cell, one is B cell. So T cell is when you have virus or bacteria in, right? You will attack the infected cells. Yeah. So and the other one, it will actually infect those bacteria or virus that the outsiders lah. It will actually will attack all those, so that our body will help us to maintain the our body systems. Yeah, so these two are actually very important. Yeah, to respond to all the harmful outsiders. So these noni foods, it can actually encourage the productions of these two cells. Yeah, and also it can also suppress those unhealthy, the multiplication of those unhealthy cells. Yeah, so because if you have nowadays when we get aging, we'll expose to a lot of free radicals. The high fat diets also exposed to free radicals. So these free radicals that are, you will develop cancer cell. Yeah, so and then will cause the healthy cells to be destroyed. So with noni food, you actually can help to repair these unhealthy cells back into healthy cells. There's a research about this. Yeah, so yeah, this is still undergo research, but it has ability of reversing the unhealthy cells as well. Okay, so next also it can help with stress. So yeah, nowadays we have a lot of stress, right? We have many things to juggle. Yeah, so noni can actually help with stress management and also sleep quality, because it actually has a better, it can actually have better affinity to bind to GABA receptor. So what is GABA receptor? It's actually, this GABA is one of the things that that release so that we can feel calm and also relax. So without this GABA, but this GABA has to bind to a proteins called GABA receptor in the brain. Yeah. So when it bind to it, then you feel relaxed, you feel calm, and then you can sleep better. Yeah. So noni fruits and noni mix can help it, the GABA, to bind into the receptors in the brain. Yeah. So that's where you actually can feel more relaxed to sleep better. Yeah, and also can help you to feel less stress, less anxiety, because once your brain is relaxed, once you have this binder, then you feel less stress, less fear about all the things around you lah. Yeah, okay. And then next slide, Leonie. Okay, it also contains melatonin and serotonin. So these two are actually very popular. Oh, you need to have serotonin, so yeah, you can actually feel better. Yeah. So this is the noni also has this melatonin and serotonin. You can actually these two are the very yeah the work hands in hand to actually improve the sleep quality. Yeah. So if you have poor sleep and which actually can contribute to insulin resistance. Yeah, so if you have poor sleep, then you will lead to insulin resistance. So Nonimax and Noni fruits can actually helps you to have better sleep quality. Once you have better sleep quality and once you have enough sleep, then your insulin resistance will get better. Yeah, so this is how it actually can help us to feel more happy and calm. Okay, all right. Yeah, so next slide. Okay, this is one of the cases I want to share with you, which is about my mom. Yeah, so this is actually my mom. Yeah, this was before, well, when she was diagnosed with pre-diabetes. Yeah, she was 73 kgs. Yeah, so when she went for her regular checkup, and doctor actually diagnosed her as pre-diabetes. Yeah, because of the elevated of HbA1c and fasting plasma group sugars lah. Yeah, so and she when she told us, we all got shocked also, but we can see it coming because she has very high sugar diet. You see here, she's actually drinking white coffee. Yeah, she like coffee C, and she can't resist to have no sugar. Yeah, and then she is actually quite obese lah. Actually, overweight, not obese, but overweight. Yeah, she was 73 kgs. So when she was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, yeah, she wanted to have medicines. Yeah, the metformin, which is the first line of the diabetes drug. Yeah, but then actually no need, but she just in case lah, heard from the friend say, okay, you have drugs, then you can control your blood sugar better. So less work. But once she had the metformin drugs, right, and then she had all sort of side effects, diarrhea lah, bloating lah, just making her very uncomfortable. Yeah, so she went back to the clinics and asked doctor to change another medicines for her. Yeah, so also she cannot tolerate it. So we will ask her to actually try lifestyle modifications. That's how I forced her to do 2-on-1 plating methods lah. Yeah, so she also very scared of diabetes because she have a history of now my mean the families has history of diabetes lah. So yeah, so which leads to very complicated. So that's why she wanted to make it work. So she very disciplined and then works onto it, and then really following all the 2-on-1. So she now she don't take white coffee anymore. She don't take coffee C anymore. Not even coffee all. Yeah. So really, when you have the determinations to make changes to your diet, right? So you can see results. Yeah. So no, now this is the latest result, September 2025. Yeah, which is just last week. Then she went for the checkup. Her HbA1c has gone down. Yeah, so you know how difficult it is to actually lower down the HbA1c. Yeah, 1% you can clap hands already, the doctors. Yeah, so this one, yeah, because she's not that high, because she's just pre-diabetes. So for her, because she have comorbidities, like, so that's why doctors actually prescribe her to ask her to lower down to less than 6.2. Yeah, so yeah, she made it. And also you can see the fasting blood glucose, right? From pre-diabetes, she lowered down to 5.1, which is the normal. So doctor declare her that, oh, you are actually back to normal. Yeah, so doctor said you don't need to take any medication. You just maintain the weight, and then you just maintain your lifestyles. Yeah, so all throughout the whole periods, right, she dropped from 73 kg to 65 kgs through this 2-on-1 diet plating, and also through 5-day plan. Yeah, 5DP that actually Mei Yuan is doing it. Yeah, and also what actually makes the most significant difference is her fatty liver. She has been seeing this Dr. Liu for more than 10 years. Yeah, and her GGT fatty level has been there for all the time. Yeah, then last checkup, which is last week, doctor declared her as zero fatty liver. Yeah, means that her fatty liver is all cleared. That's because she dropped her weight. And because she actually changed her lifestyle and then she changed her diet. Yeah, she cut out all I mean, she's having healthy eatings lah. And also she's supplementing with some of the supplements that actually good for her liver, which is the Fosco. And also she's taking Nonimex to control her blood sugars, which is the one that I share with you, the noni fruits. Yeah, so it really surprised us that this one we are expecting, but this fatty liver is a plus point because never ever thought she thought that she will have a fatty liver drop until, yeah, because when doctor scanned it, right, it's actually all cleared, and she was very surprised. She thought doctor was just making fun, like joking with her. But yeah, that's how it actually transformed her from pre-diabetes, yeah, into normal persons. Yeah, so you can see when I show her, mommy, I said, I share this testimony of you, okay? She said, oh, okay, can. Wow, she said, here I look like a ball, my face. She said, yeah, so now you see she is actually really see the difference because she has dropped so much. Yeah, but she's way healthier. Yeah, and then her joint pain also better because when you are overweight, your joint actually suffers as well. Yeah, so when she actually tell us all this news, right, we were so happy for her. There's nothing more no more comforting or better than actually hearing her saying that, oh, she has transformed into a better life, better healthy body. Yeah, so this is what actually I wanted to share with you all, that actually diets modification, lifestyle modification, the right supplementation actually will help you to, yeah, reverse the diabetes or even blood sugars or even the insulin resistance that you probably are having. Yeah, so next slide, Leonie. Yeah, because you are what you eat. I always when have all this wellness talk and all that, right? I always when people ask me about this advice, I would say you are what you eat. It is very true. It's very simple. You are what you eat. But you know, it's just simple one sentence, but it means so much because every day you are making food choices. Every time, every morning when you wake up, you already need to make choices. What breakfast are you going to eat? Because if you choose the food that serve your body, you get very well. But if you choose the foods that actually steal your health, that's how actually it turns into, yeah, all other complications. So every day just make a mind, yeah, to change, to choose a better food for your body, for yourself, and even for your loved one. Yeah, because yeah, what you eat. Yeah, that's what I want to convey to all of you lah. Yeah, so that's all for my sharing. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Winnie, for the sharing. It's very fruitful and very informative, is it? Any of you think that is you gain a lot from her sharing? Type 1. If you really gain a lot from her sharing. Anybody? Yes, Elaine, Jamie, Yvonne. Yes, I learned a lot from her sharing today. And today I want to share a good news before we jump into the open Q&A session. If you want to ask anything about diabetic or food to from Winnie, I want to share one good news today. Because just now you heard that noni max, right? Noni fruit. Then this month we have launched Noni Max. And what is Noni Max? Noni Max is actually from Noni fruit. But you know that one piece of Noni fruit costs how much or not? If you know, if you buy before, you know one piece of Noni fruit costs how much? Anybody of you know? Okay, you don't know. I buy before. It's about 10 ringgit. But this Noni Max, one capsule, it's consists of 10 pieces of noni fruits extract. I mean, the nutrition in the capsule, one capsule. And you know, one capsule already means already 200 ringgit. But then now if we divided 175 divided by 30 capsule, then one capsule only costs 5 5 ringgit, right? And you don't need to eat so many noni fruit. And then plus this our Nonimax is without artificial color and it's halal, without preservative, and it support our immune, our GABA, our better sleeping quality, and also regulate our blood sugar. And this month, for the month of September, we have promotion on this Nonimax. It's not 175 per bottle, but it is ta-da! 264 for 2 bottles. Means that you save 86 ringgit. Okay, and not only that, we will giving you a free zinc that is worth 95 ringgit. So this zinc is basically I eat every day to control inflammation, to control if you have a lot of pimple, it also can control your pimple sebum, and if you oily skin, it also can control. And also for my boy that is growing up but not tall, you also can give it to your son or your husband to increase the sperm count. Okay, so this only for this month. So left how many days this promotion? Anybody of you know how many days left? Yeah, it 8 days left. Okay, you can screenshot of this or you can share with your parents and prospect. Okay, and after this, anybody of you want to ask any question from Winnie? So we open for chat. You can use chat, or if you think it's too slow, you can just open your mic. You can just unmute and talk through your microphone. Anybody? Okay, we give some time for people to type in anything to want to ask regarding food, regarding the lifestyle, or about diabetes, how you want to help your parents or surrounding to improve. Okay, we'll give you about 2 minutes time if maybe you are thinking or you are typing. If really no more question, then we will end our Zoom. We'll give 2 more minutes, okay? Then. Okay. IV10 is asking for type 2 diabetes with taking medication and insulin already. Will taking Nonimax be over supplementing it? Okay, Winnie, you want to answer?
Yep. Okay. Yeah, actually, Nonimex, it can helps to for people with diabetes. Yeah, taking diabetes medicines. Yeah, usually because we don't want to have low blood sugar as well. Because if we are controlling already with diabetes medicines, then we have to talk to the doctors who are managing the diabetes. But if we have diabetes medicines on already, but your blood sugar is still high, which actually can happen in most of the diabetic patient as well. Yeah, you can try to try to take Nonimax because it actually doesn't really it will help with glucose blood glucose spike, but not directly. Yeah, not directly actually. Yeah, you work as a medicines. Yeah, but always if you have people who have diabetes medicines, they should have the family doctors that she's seeing. So we usually always encourage the patients to consult the doctor first because they know the best. Because some patients they may have comorbidities, yeah, or maybe overweight or may high blood pressure and all that. So always consult the doctor first before starting Nonimax lah.
Okay, the second question, can someone take Nonimax together with diabetes medicine? Okay, so this is similar with the first IV10. Right? So if the sugar level is like, if even after eating the medicine, your sugar level sometimes can up. So yeah, it's okay for you to take Nonimax.
Yes, it's actually actually lower. I mean, like better stabilize the post meal sugar spike. Yeah.
Okay, and then the third question, if eating whole fruit is better than juice, what about blending the whole fruit?
Yeah, so you have to eat a lot.
Yeah, you imagine that one capsule, right? It
Yeah,
contains
yeah.
20 nonimax fruit.
Yeah, you won't be able to just taking the fruits. Of course, it's better to have whole fruits. It's actually, but it won't have the significance amounts that you are supposed to take with the Nonimex itself, because yeah, it's already, that's how supplements works lah, because it's concentrated. So with this concentrated amounts, only you can have effects, better effects on the health benefits. Yeah. So eating whole fruits can give you fiber, and it's good. It's one of the good fruits to eat. Yeah, but I never eat lah. Yeah, but you can try. Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
other fruit.
Okay, so other fruits, not all the fruits have this one of the phytochemicals in like the ones in the Nonimex. So different fruits have different antioxidants, different active ingredients. So for noni fruits, the one that I was telling you was before, maybe Leonie, you can go back way back. The iridiol, yeah, this is actually not all the fruits have it. Yeah, but it actually has shown that noni fruits has many phytochemicals. We call it phytonutrients. The one that actually targeting to have the health benefit to control the blood sugars. Next one, next slide, next, next slide, next. The one with regulate blood sugar level.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the iridiotes. Yeah. So these are, every plant has their own antioxidants. So Nonimex, it actually shows that iridiotes, all these, right, and also peroxyrin, all these they actually can have the health benefits of lowering blood sugars. Yeah, not all the fruits have these phytochemicals. Mm.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Okay, if no, then we will end today's Zoom. Thank you very much, Winnie, for the sharing today. We gained so much from your today's sharing. And to all of you, we see you again to our next topic next time. Okay? Thank you very much. Bye.